Welcome to another episode of Honey for the Soul podcast. I'm your host, Clarissa, and this is my co-host,
Alyssa.
All right, let's just get into the topic for today. And our topic is on social media. Wow, double intro. All right. Okay. Go ahead, friend.
So, we're just gonna, for right now, talk about what our thoughts are on social media and whether the effect it has on people is positive or negative. There's good sides and bad sides to social media, and we can see that constantly, or very, what is it called, a lot but not a lot. Do you know another term for a lot?
I don't know where you're trying to go with this.
Okay, we see the effects of social media on people a lot more than we used to because
there's
thank you.
Okay.
because there's a lot more social media platforms and social media
I guess people are just on social media
there you go.
a lot more
easier
now as opposed to before. Like if you are way back when, there was Friendster, there was AOL, MySpace, there you go, and then you had Yahoo Messenger, the way back when types of social media.
And they're completely different from what we have today.
Yeah, back then it was more of chat rooms.
Yeah.
And forums, I guess, things like that, where people just talk with one another, as opposed to now it's just your thoughts are just out there for the whole world to see. And I guess it's just interesting because even if you're not really careful about what you say, some people can take that completely wrong, right? And you kind of have to understand, too, that I guess this is the negative thing where people just take what other people say face value, as opposed to realizing that, hey, there could be more behind this, and or the fact that maybe it's just a person's opinion. You know what I mean? A person can just say they shouldn't say what they want to say, but they also should. If it's their opinion and they obviously believe in whatever it is they're saying, they shouldn't be hated on.
Okay.
Is that the right term?
Yes. That's how I would put it.
Because it's their opinion. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. You shouldn't be dogged down. You shouldn't be given all kinds of hate comments, all kinds of this and this and this, for something that you personally believe in and is your opinion,
Yeah. So, an example would be if Clarissa was an extreme Kylie Jenner lover, right? And I say, honestly, I do not like Kylie Jenner. She doesn't like hearing that because she's a super fan, right?
Yeah.
But that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't hate on me for something that I believe in, that I think.
You should just realize the fact that, okay.
People have opinions.
Besides
yours.
Yeah. You can like someone and I can just not like them. I think what's making it social media also, it could aggravate it more, is the fact that some people just, they can't believe. It's so appalling for them when they realize that someone else has a different opinion from them, and they're like, what do you mean you don't like this? What do you mean this person or this type of thing isn't good or bad or whatever it is? It's just what I think is right, you're wrong because you don't have this opinion. No. This person they're allowed, not even allowed, they're entitled to their own opinion. Just like you, me, everyone around us are entitled to our own opinion. It's just the fact that there's a difference between hating to hear something, right? And just realizing that, you know what it is, you're you believe in what you believe, and I believe in what I believe. You can't always just hate what you hear. And I think there's also a difference between hating what you hear and hate speech. Because hate speech is insanely different, right? And I think in one of our classes, hate speech was defined, like our professor actually defined hate speech versus speech that we don't like to hear.
Yeah.
Right? What was hate speech again? Just as a recap.
I don't remember.
But I think it was like, if there was, it's like speech that will
put people in danger or cause violence, right?
Something like immediately after the fact.
Yeah.
That is hate speech. As opposed to, what was it? Just
hey, you don't like to hear it.
Yeah.
You know? So what if I don't like Kylie Jenner? You hate to hear it, and?
Exactly.
It's not a hate speech, it's an opinion.
It's opinion, yeah. And? Just, I think we forget that, we're not supposed to be all the same person. If you think about it, if we all had the same opinion, if we all like Kylie Jenner, then what does that make us?
Yeah.
Like, there wouldn't be all this variation of, like, celebrities or, like, music or just all the things that we like now wouldn't be there if we all liked the same thing. Like, for example, music. If we all just liked classical music, we wouldn't have pop, rock, rap. Although I will say I do not like rap.
I'm hating on it. No, I'm kidding.
Like, we wouldn't have all this different genre of music if we all just stuck to classical, because we all just like that, And I mean, we're kind of focusing on the negative side, but there's also the positive of, because of social media nowadays, we are able to connect with people that are like not millions, but like thousands of miles away. Like, and they can be across the country, across the world, and we are able to connect with them. We're able to have a conversation so that, we're not as sheltered as we were before. Like, we aren't just hearing opinions from our circle of friends, from our circle, like our community, We're able to hear the opinions and the perspectives of those who are, like, way far from us.
And on the other side of the world.
On the other side of the world. And that's one of the greatest things about social media.
Yeah.
Because it brings us that much closer to one another.
Also, especially, like, for families, before you had to get, like, a phone card. What are they called?
I think those are what
phone card, right?
Phone card, yeah.
Okay, so you needed to buy a phone card just to call your family members, or else you'd have to pay a lot of money. Or did you still have to pay a lot of money?
Yeah, because it's just like international calling. It's like you have to pay because
and they had minutes, specific minutes.
Yeah, specific minutes. Like, if you went over like a minute or something, it's like $5 or something, and it's like, it's so expensive. But now,
because Facebook, Instagram, you can just message them or call them for free.
It's free, and it's also because of the Wi-Fi. So, or the internet. So it's like, communicating with someone, there's no excuse now. If anything, everyone's on the internet. Everyone is on Facebook. Everyone is on Instagram. I say everyone, but there are some people who are not, because they're not fortunate enough, like, to have it. We're talking about first world problems.
Worst world problems.
Worst world problems. No, first world problems. But it's like, social media has become a big thing in all of our lives, and whether we want to admit it or not, it is a big part of our generation.
Yeah, that's kind of sad too, because I feel like it can be degrading. Yeah. To a person's mental health, to a person's self-image.
I think that's also one of the negatives, is because our generation, or even, is it still our generation, or is it a generation below us? Or
I think it's our generation and the people below us, because, like, people we graduated with, they're very social media-y.
Yeah, I just think that, for us as college students and those who are younger than us, like in high school, middle school, all of that, social media is a part of their life, to the point that it's if it's not school, it's social media, you know, and they're all interconnected that way, where it's like everybody sees everyone's pictures, where they've been, if they're losing weight, if they're this, and the whole point of social media could be negative in that there's that cyberbullying aspect where it's like you post a picture and someone can say in the comments of, oh my gosh, you're so fat, like all of those things. And I feel especially with this younger generation, we are still young. We are in our 20s. We are in our early 30s, early 20s. Whoa. We're not that old yet. Early 20s. But like those who are like, what, teenage years? Like 10 to 15, 16. I feel like parents, just from my eyes and my perspective, my opinion, okay? My opinion, just got to put it out there. They should kind of limit their children's use of social media, just because of the fact that, you know, especially for girls, seeing those Instagram models that they follow,
it like looking at social media creates a comparison game between yourself and people you see,
and it isn't right, because these girls are what, in their late 20s,
and it's 30s. Not realistic most of the time. What you see on social media is not real, or it's a something reality. It's like a fixed reality. It's like, it's not,
it's real. It's just that it's
like a staged reality.
There you go, staged.
If that's
no. It makes sense, because it's like
you planned that picture, you planned how your setup was gonna be, everything.
How the angle of the picture, angles are everything, and I think kids know this now too. Is like, angles are everything. What you wear, right? And these days, girls wear almost next to nothing, and then we look at their age, and they're what, 16,
they look,
17?
But they look older than us.
That, it doesn't make sense to me. And it's like realizing that kids now are acting older because they're influenced by those who they see on their social media. Parents should realize that, yes, give your kids freedom to be on social media. Like, don't necessarily like shelter them, but also realize that there are things on social media that you should talk to your kids about, because if not, they're going to think, I should be like this girl. I should look this certain way. I should be this skinny. I should be this fit. I mean, being fit isn't a bad thing, but it's like, if you're doing it for the sake of looks and not for the sake of...
If you're doing it for the likes, don't do it. If you're doing it for you... and who you want to... I'm sorry, I cut you off. And who you want to be, then do it. But if you're doing it for just temporary happiness, don't do it.
There should be a reasoning behind wanting to look a certain way. And I think even now with us, when we're looking through social media, and then we're all like... this girl is so skinny. And I always say, dude, this girl is so skinny. She needs 3 pizzas, blah, blah, blah. She needs 3 big whole pizzas, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, you know, I forget that sometimes these girls want to look this way, but I also have to think maybe they look this way because they're competing with all the other Instagram models. And I have to realize that this isn't really life per se. It's like, it's not reality. It is, once again, that staged reality where it's like, I'm only doing this for the likes, for the sponsors, for this and this and this, you know? So I guess social media could do, like, we could view, it's that mindset again of with social media. It's a double-edged sword, you know?
I personally don't really use social media that much. The main ones that I use is Facebook because of the meme pages and Instagram. That's true.
Meme pages.
Yeah, I don't really use other social media because I feel like looking at social media is a waste of my time.
Yeah.
Even if I'm bored or I'm just taking a break from studying or working, I don't really look at social media. It's it's just the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
People's selfies, people's food, wherever people go, you know. Sometimes I do that too, like I post where I go, but it's not all the time, you know.
Yeah.
And I think people need a break from social media. People are constantly on their phones, checking Instagram, DMs, Snapchat, whatever. But that, it's not really healthy mentally.
It isn't.
You're always in that constant bubble, which is your phone, and you're not paying attention to the world around you.
Yeah.
And that's what bothers me a lot about some people, because they're so, especially our generation, because they're so invested in their phones and social media. They don't realize that the world around them is changing. It's constantly moving, and you can miss a moment if you're just on your phone for that 1 second.
And it's true, because social media is just a constant. It's the same thing over and over and over and over again. Like, there's something that'll be interesting, but it's the same. And so I realize, like, now I'm a little bit more on social media, but not really. Like, I'll look at it a little bit, but I'm not so attached to my phone because of social media.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's kind of sad about, I guess, our generation and the generation below us, because kids nowadays, and even us, because I can attest to this sometimes but not really, is like, we'll be on our phones and just constantly be on our phones for like hours.
Yeah. Like when people hang out and they say they're hanging out, but they're just on their phones constantly, is that even hanging out?
You're not even interacting with anyone. Yeah, I don't know. And I think it's funny because of social media and the fact that we're always on our phones, I feel like kids nowadays don't know how to talk to each other. They don't know how to make friends. Their definition of friends is, oh, I follow someone. Oh, I'm friends with someone. And to be honest, kids these days aren't even really on Facebook. That's more of like our generation.
I think it's more college students now,
or like older folks, but it's more Instagram and Snapchat and all these things. And I'm just like, do you even know how to talk to this person in real life? Because, to be honest, I don't really see kids talking that much in real life anymore. It's like...
Oh, yeah. Also, I don't see... So when I was a kid, I would play outside. But now I don't see kids playing outside, and that's sad, because you're missing a huge part of your childhood because of your phone or your tablet or whatever, you know? That tablet or phone will always be there. Your friends won't.
Yeah.
Your childhood is only 10 years of your life, and then it's gone.
Yeah. And I think it's also, we have to think that it's the kid's fault, but it's also partly the parents' fault, because you have to realize, and I'm glad that my parents did this with me, was I didn't get a phone until I was 5th grade. And it was only because
I was walking home in 6th grade.
Yeah, it was only because I wasn't being picked up by them. Like, I had to commute, right? And after that, like, it wasn't even a smartphone, but back then there wasn't really smartphones. But you know, they had like the slider phones, or is that what's that called? The one with the keyboard and everything.
Keyboard.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I didn't have those ones. My sole purpose, or my parents' sole purpose for that phone, to text, call, that's it. There's no games, or if there were games, there's just a little bit. There's no social media. There's no this and this and this. It's just a phone. Nowadays, it's like you hear of like 10-year-olds with an iPhone. Not even just an iPhone.
The new one.
Latest model.
They don't need that.
They don't. Who in their right mind is calling a 10-year-old? What?
They should be playing outside or something, doing their homework, hanging out with their friends, you know. They shouldn't be on social media all the time.
Yeah.
Or at all, period, you know?
Yeah, that's why there are ages.
Yeah.
You need to be a certain age. And mind you, I did, in 5th grade, I think, I did sign up for Facebook, but my sole purpose for Facebook was the games.
The games are fun.
The games were fun. That's it. I spent hours on that.
It was like my life.
It was my life for those hours. Like, for that time period in my life, it was just those games. And then I slowly stopped playing.
Same.
And then I forgot about social media. And if you think about it, I didn't, going back to my experience before, yes, I got my phone in 5th grade, but I didn't get an actual smartphone until
high school.
Mm-hmm. Was it sophomore or junior year? I think it was junior year. I got my first Samsung touchscreen, where it was like actual smartphone. Like I had an Alcatel phone before, but it was legit for phone reasons. So that, and before that I had a flip phone. Everyone else had the iPhone, blah blah blah. They had iPods, like iTouches, whatever the heck it was, right? And I was just over here with a simple phone, and I was okay with that. Because I was able to live my life without having to constantly be attached to a phone.
Yeah, same. I don't need to look at my phone most of the time. Like, I don't even look at it, and some people are like, you never answer texts. Well, that's because I never look at my phone.
Exactly. I get in trouble all the time by my parents because they're like, why aren't you answering the phone? Why aren't you texting back? I don't look at my phone. I'm not always on my phone. Yes, you bought me this phone, but it's not to say I will be on it 24/7, right? I'm not like that. I'm more of, I like to set my phone down. I like to enjoy things and do things besides be on social media, be on my phone. You know, I like to have conversations with people. And you know how they say, and some adults say, can you live without your phone?
Yes. I can. Yes, there's been a time where I have not charged my phone for 3 days. Have y'all ever done that? Is the question.
Like, even if I just have my phone off, or like it's on, and I just won't look at my phone, like, I can live without my phone.
Yeah, me too. I don't need it. The only thing I need it for is probably to text my mom.
Yeah.
Or contact people.
Just to contact people.
Yeah.
And when I'm on my phone, like nowadays when I'm on my phone, I'm just like, I don't know what to do on this phone.
Yeah, I just look at it sometimes.
Yeah, because I'm just like, what was my purpose for going on this phone again? Like, I forget why I was even on this phone. And I guess when I'll drift to social media, but then I'm like, it's boring. I can do something productive.
And I feel like people have used social media, or their phones in general, as a way to fix the awkward moments in their life. Like when they're with their friends or something. And there's just that weird silence.
Yeah.
And they don't know what to do with each other. They just go on their phones.
That shouldn't even be the case. That's so awkward. Like, I feel like we've gone off. It's still on topic because we're talking about phones. But it's like, if I'm having lunch or a meal.
Yeah, with a friend.
With parents. I realize that I do this sometimes, and I'm trying to make a habit of putting down my phone. But when those awkward silences happen, I'll look at my phone because I don't know what to do with myself. But recently, that was kind of before, but now recently, what I try to do, like when we have lunch dates, we're both present. Present.
I'm president.
We're both present.
Yeah.
We're in the moment, right? And we consciously both do not look at our phones. Unless, like, we had to, like, I'll say, hey, pause. I'll look at my phone, whatever it needs to do, and then you'll do the same, and then I'll be like, okay, continue. Because I realize that, okay, I need to check this 1 minute because I have to, if I need to contact someone. But other than that, I won't be on my phone.
Yeah, especially if I'm with friends or family. Those are times where I'm just not on my phone because I want to be there. You know? Your friends and family are only there for their lifetime. You're only here for your lifetime. You know, you don't want to spend your whole life on your phone, on your TV, on your laptop, whatever. You know? It's a waste of life.
It's true, but it's also like, it's rude.
Yeah, it's rude.
And you're trying to connect with people on a personal level, and you can't, because it's easy to do that when you're eating, you know, to create that personal bond, because like you're eating, you're talking to this person in front of you, with the people around you, if it's like with multiple people, and you're trying to create this personal bond with them, right? You're talking with them. But if one of you is on your phone, you miss out. Everyone else is talking. Or if it's just two people, I feel if someone did that with me, I would be turned off. I wouldn't want to do another lunch date with them, because it's like, why am I even here? You're not even going to talk to me. We could have just not, like, we could have just got takeout or something. Like, why did we even schedule this if we're not going to talk?
And I hate it when I'm trying to spend time with people, right? And we watch, like, TV or a movie or something, and then they're on their phone. Like, are you even watching? Do you even know what's happening in the thing we're watching?
Yeah.
Or am I wasting my time when I can be doing something else?
Yeah, I feel like it's a waste of time. Like, if someone is going to do that to me where they'll be on their phone, I'm thinking within myself, am I wasting my time? Is it just me who wanted to spend time with you? Like, I'm taking the time out of my day, out of my busy schedule, to make time for you, so that you can be a part of my life and I can be a part of your life. But the fact that you're on your phone is making things difficult. You know? And sometimes this happens, like, when we have family dinners, and we go out, because sometimes I'll be here for 2 weeks, and then I'll go home, and so we'll eat outside. And so we're waiting for our food. We just ordered. And me and my dad will be talking. And then my brother will be on his phone. I'll be like, Jolas, can you not be on your phone? And sometimes he puts it down. He does. But sometimes it's like he's just constantly on his phone. I know it's kind of weird with him, because it's like, he has a different, like, what is it? Defense mechanism, whatever it is. It's just, he can live also without his phone, but it's just sometimes he just has to be on his phone. And I don't understand why. But for the most part, we try to be present. But I can't. When people are on their phones. Like, even when I see that in a TV show, I get annoyed for the person who's on the other end of that. I'm like, girl, why are you even with him? Or why are you even with her? Leave. I would have just walked out, because I'm just like, I'm not wasting time on you. I'll do something else for me. You're just wasting my time, your time, everyone's time, and you're just going to be like, yes, it was work. No, it wasn't. Or if it was, like, realize that you can take a break from work. Take a break from your phone. Do not be there constantly. I'm not always going to be here. I can't be with you 24/7.
Also, sometimes when I'm at a restaurant or something, or even here, mostly it happens here mostly because there's just people in our age group that are on their phones. So sometimes I'll see two people sitting across from each other, like they're eating, right? And they're on their phone. Yeah. What is that? Is that even, do you know what human interaction is?
Yeah, and I feel very sad, because it's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, what does the world come to, you know? We're just sitting there eating.
We were in the same, I think I was with you when that happened in one of those occasions. Like, we were at one of the restaurants and we had lunch, right? And we looked across from us and there was these two boys and they both had their phone out.
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it happens everywhere.
It happens everywhere. And they were on their phone. They got their food, ate while on their phone. They finished at the same time.
In Cafe 3?
That, and then it was at one of the restaurants.
Oh, okay.
So they got up at the same time, put their thing away, and then just left. And I was like, what just happened? There was no interaction. They just knew when to leave, what to eat, or like, it was just so odd. And I don't understand, because we humans aren't islands. We are not meant to be so secluded and just we don't talk with one another. We need to talk with one another. We are very sociable people.
Verbally talk, not chat talk.
Through your phone. Like, it's weird when people chat through their
phone
in front of each other. Like, you can just verbally speak. Like, sometimes we'll do that, we'll chat.
Yeah, but we're in class.
But we're in class, so we can't talk, and it'd be rude to talk. So know when to be on your phone, I guess, and chatting versus if you can talk with the person. You know?
Even if there's awkward silences, I feel social media makes those awkward silences worse because people are no longer talking, you know? What do they have to talk about?
Nothing.
Exactly. So it just makes the silences worse because people have nothing to talk about because they're just talking on the phone instead of actually talking to a person, a real life, tangible person, not a phone, a person, human.
You know what it is? I actually downloaded an app that counts the amount of hours you spend on your phone.
Oh yeah, we have that.
Specifically, you know, the various apps on your phone, how much time you spend in each individual app. And I realized, like, I always thought I didn't spend so much time on Instagram, which compare me to someone who's probably younger in high school. They're probably on their phone more on Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, I remember this one time. This girl in our discussion from math last semester. Yeah. She said that she spent about 4 hours on Snapchat. I don't know when the time slot was, but it was on a Tuesday, and I don't know if it's from Sunday to Tuesday that it was 4 hours long that she spent, or it was like from Tuesday to Tuesday, like from the previous week. But I was just like, seriously, 4 hours
a day? Did you say 4 hours a day?
I think it was 4 hours from like whenever Sunday to Tuesday.
That's good.
That's good.
Is it good? Because I mean, some people spend like a few hours on that per day.
I guess it's good, but in general, I don't think it's good.
Yeah. I mean, if you were to compare that with some people who spend like, let's say 2-3 hours a day on Instagram, and then compare it with her, if it's 4 hours for like a few days, like let's say from Sunday to Tuesday, like what? That's 3 days. So I guess that's almost like an hour each day, give or take. But it's like, now I consciously, when I look at that, I'm like, dang, I spend too much time on my phone. And I think I don't really spend that much time because for the most part, I don't. I consciously try not to be on my phone. But, you know, there are times when you need to be on your phone, and that's fine. But just know limits. Like, limit yourself, because if not, you're just going to be on your phone 24/7. And, like, I know I have a bad habit sometimes. Like, I have my phone on while it's class. And that's really a bad habit. But I can understand it. Sometimes there's just that urge. Like, just that urge that you get to just look at your phone. Also because your professor's just really boring. I can attest to that. I can really attest to that. But, like, I've learned that there are just sometimes, not even sometimes, you just need to put it away.
Yeah.
Or have that app that does the thing where you can't look at your phone.
Oh, yeah. You lock it or something?
Yeah, it locks. And it can only be unlocked after that time slot. You know? And I think there needs to be that conscious decision within yourself to spend less time on your phone, on social media, and just live life. Because, my gosh, you want to be missing out on all the opportunities, all of the happy moments you could have been having with your friends, with your family, and you missed all that because you were just on your phone? Was it worth it? Heck no. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I just, whenever a rule of mine, like, I rarely say this, I don't even need to tell myself, but if I'm with people I care about, like family, friends, whatever, I'm not going to be on my phone, because to me, it's rude, like we said earlier, and also, you don't know how long that person is going to be with you anymore.
Yeah.
What if that last time you were on your phone was the last time you're ever going to see them?
Yeah.
You're going to have those moments with them, you know?
this went really.
I know, but
really
like dark. You know, this is a reality.
True. It is reality, you know. And some people I feel have that guilt because they realize after the fact it happened that when was the last time I saw this person? Oh my gosh, the last time I saw this person, I was on my phone. I didn't even interact with them. You know, you miss those chances, those opportunities in your life because you spend it so much time on your phone. And you should really be asking yourself. Like, I ask myself this. You guys should also be asking yourselves this. Is social media really important? Is it really important in your life? The answer should be no. No. And if there is, and you need to be on there, why is one. Whose opinion are you after? Are you looking at? Right? Who are you trying to hear words of wisdom from? You know? And if there is, like, your role models on there and they post through social media and you're looking through their posts because they motivate you to do well in life. Like, they're just like motivational speakers, and you look at their posts, like, I can see if that is a part of your life and it's making your life better because you're taking their words into consideration and changing your life for the better, then yes, by all means. I'm not saying that you shouldn't look at social media, but you should also consider that social media is a double-edged sword. There's positive and negatives to it. And, you know, there are things that you shouldn't take for granted and shouldn't, like, take at face value, and things that, you know, it's this person's opinion. And, like, whose opinion in social media really matters? Everybody's just got their own opinion. They're just trying to say what they want to say. Should you really be taking what they're saying seriously? No. It's social media. You know, there's such thing as trolls. You know, your opinion, well, like, this is weird now, but, like, if you're going to think of an opinion that should matter, it should be your own. Like, if you're going to motivate someone, motivate yourself. And if you need others to motivate you, like, to validate you, I should say.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be the case. Validate your own self first. You know. And then maybe get it from those who support you. I don't know, but that doesn't make sense to me. I just feel like love yourself first.
Yeah, I mean, you know? if you're okay with yourself, then you shouldn't need other people telling you you're fine, you know? And
you shouldn't be using social media as a way to get that validation. It's just weird. You know? Yeah. That was a really long topic on social media.
I could talk more about that.
I know, I could talk more about that. Social media is just one of those things where you can go on and on and on because there's just so much within it and so much things to unpack within it. But I think we're going to stop here, and we'll see you guys in another episode in the future. All right. Bye.
Bye.